Berima waha, Atik Mohammed waha, Miracle Sabwaji ewa. Yeah, me pacho. My microphones near like. Obekabi. Yeah. Oh, me pacho lawyer. Miracle see a bit you. Miracles Akwaba. What about the good news, no? Dear him, the minerals come for yeah, myth. Yeah. So, investment in lithium, investment in lithium and how it's taken.
As you see, it's our program.
We'll bring it.
Myth, the data was already there.
It doesn't matter. No, David, I'm one about to say.
Okay, and they have spent money claiming they've gone to do discovery of lithium. Meanwhile, they merely reproduce data that was already available.
Myth in your exploration. So what's
they have invested. They claim they've come up with a program. How am I investing for the discovery of lithium deposit size? And I'm saying that data
was already there.
So which program did you invest in?
Okay.
Miracle
me ma Akwaba. I mean lawyer me we am about lawyer.
Oh but no answer 3 questions and the answer no boy.
Yeah man say exam we you no answer no.
Answer question na take which one na answer.
Question TV attack.
You na this no problem.
No but when you say that lithium was a byproduct of gold mining. Who mining gold? Lithium came out as a byproduct. Don't him, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
I never knew that.
Oh,
It's okay. As part of Nkomwe, one of the lawyers in this country are fighting for the right of journalists by lawyer Samson Ladi Anyenini. Or say, Obi, as a man in court fighting for journalists who are struggling to defeat death because of attacks, I get chills hearing the overt and covert justification for the unconstitutional and criminal conduct. And that's the point I want to make here. And okay, I'm sure we.
And the obvious inertia in sanctioning these hoodlums.
Okay, I'll come and read the other ones. But lawyer, me patch on my mintio.
Oh, me that's asami ya dawa ya nyina ya twena basane asere enyina ne sense emrantie bi according to National Youth Organizer
yes
osi wo moye wajati to moye before sure emrantie ana no memenda najo se ba no nkuna chi wakran se ba no ndi wa bi no omokoto share UTV program so na ni nyina ne se let a BD can ba want. I think I'm director of finance and admin. One Mr. Yamwa. And a signing say letter. Na letter no beginning paragraphs and on by we know can say program no or station seems to be favoring the NDC. I'm saying
Yamua letter.
Oh, I'm telling you, which in the first paragraph now?
Oh no, yeah, I've read it. Yeah.
I said currently United Showbiz appears to be operating as a platform that serves the interest of the opposition National Democratic Congress.
It flies in the face of Article 162.
Now, show na ya na bi before show.
Show based. The MPP phone.
Na so Chris Abwere. Onya bibini.
Na mami na dai na.
Na se one minute.
Okay,
that's very so if you are talking for office, some kind of representation say, mu nya rep for show this one. One more call, no here. What is it? What we are in for? Now, what will be turned letter by 17 letter mabufu na adunale say ha when na call so no. E nyina fi letter mu. Such as there are 7 political parties interest. Na busan say eya wotie muntimi radio. That defend eya wotie muntimi radio. Eno na 7 interest. Muntimi TV ni muntimi radio no. 7 interest. Can the event say almost show bounce of boiling point. Our man of him. And I 7 interest. Send us 1 people from Canada. Obi. But I'm saying, and I make as a UTV for. Say, the perception outside and the same before who the station your media. Make it on the show. Perception the same before who said UTV and no mother, I mean sister stations like come on, your media. It's they decide and determine what goes on there. Now can this say? So when I could run that for pen paper at transaction letter, the answer actually I will say program now we and everyone is for interest. Can you imagine? It won't just say. If not say perception at about and a crack, Casim original. And then I make a job say, I never got someone penning for and some clear that perception from this issue. Now, I say at one because main Kai minimum is a woman a man that's why discussion of radio station. I don't know, but I doubt if sanity. So that's I doubt sanity. But Obi, I did we move on if you have been able. If you baby, I say before say pompo be kase na ohuna undimi nanten. Starting kwadwa take na ehunu ba. Starting wo kumase. Omampani enam tumi a oman no de ama no. Enam ye constitution mu. E wotumi se obodi ema manfo be som e be kana ban no. Ana se be boa na ma ni bu oman no. To bo menka papa ndi ma do bo papa bi a di so nkoye regional security coordinator. Now one show man bamboo and Samson, no for Americans of over report to the national, which is Accra. Obodino Yenya, sir, the hoodlums here be. Add the one penny panaya bonidino. Can you imagine? The president has spoken by his authority. No, you're not party hoodlums. One must one penny panaya bonidino. Now, pam, I'm penny as an now we are in the same. Now so can Obi. Na ka wode kan nye say yem pekeke. Oda wo muti see regional administration. Kumasi. So we say the honesty ya. But the regional minister office no block no wura mu a wo nifa so konu akra wo nifa sa. Sa block no so na the coordinator no so office so ewo. Obi. Ya papa glass papa no na video no a ya twene se kronfo pa ya che no. How the man descended on the staircase without blocking or not him just because only be a panel. Not sound for way you don't want to court. So matumra. Abamra ni woman. Almost be a man tiasia. Dear Niantiasia, no more another group. Another same group, one more uncle hobby was a woman is a new match was a debut. And so my home son almost tasty court to us sometime. Minty be down. Se court at Nasi. Judge Tiadium. Impo magistrates in Pandio magazine come you find them in the rural communities in Impo. Obi. Minty be as magistrate be Tiadium. Now you sit at Timamu4. I could trust a court and so I'm a magistrate, you know, Edjan name and Nipa Yedna Samson, you need to pay. I mean, how? Normally, what is your breaking BBs and be a police station? I you say your breaking us. I'm a suspect, be a granny, any other day. But court to the but we see Ukrumwa opening Biancasa Obi. I did more. I don't know. Yes, you party no Elcope Banadani. I'll be Simon Penny. Enti enkoto aba abane achemu no part 1 and 2 part 1 na baso omo ayo mo hye hye omo amra yenka ho bi omo na kwasha won kwasha amra emra na sa otu aba en fenchiro bia otu aba wi atwe ho de ndie hu na ne dade na omo akwasha amra na ozo mo no ba adima obi ye ko wi ne ekoto aba na yeso obi na ba na etse na agent bi se da bi dia wo ye na nya etia emra na ye ya hye no etimi ma kwa ma anya sa yeso mo na de be woni ache na bo obi ya bunu me na nia pai amenne obi na ebo ne hoka obi papa wo politics nti anya opponent when babu mu ono ya fum kroma defo no na ache na bo na ma na ni apai just because you want to ensure that the right thing will be done we no so one from so me rule of law for no omuni rule of law for no
Asempa FM.
They find it even very difficult to adhere to their own rules. Now, one more idea is not on mind by this one. Then, some crofone this and Yambra, some young Korean chance, and you say a friend of 4 discipline committee. But yes, I reckon Japan, I can Japan, no boss, don't be. I dare say a phone call. So no one can say or be show down to a discipline committee. Meanwhile, Nippon or Pi will be in Kabashman, say at Yante Marching. See a flow be discipline committee be and whether region or national Yante be a FM. Yen now, the man you say from the said one more Kodo pon de ndie mame nka se ene man bi o kai wa ha no because an permit and I heard it from victims no angasa nsem so it makes me believe said the okay the meeting which is the fact say one of no so free police now it is true na nyono nkwa de because na wo mo na so akọ police station wo ma brante ba ko wo mo attack no nti an pe kwa me hu ni police medical reporter or the chairman nti ono ekọ police station ko report ye alongside na ko jonso unso de oni and on the no free by phone no different police but the American on one na nanti ko the police station ekọ report here so yes it's true see what you know but you see na human means no obre fi say o hwede ACCA na unni krom wane yase wona metro bibi fa ho be defend ya o can say but me abro fi na kwasi you na we no there no way he was not there yet he supposed to talk about it somebody has said he was not there but he was supposed to talk about it but the person MPP for TSC and say o man no anyam mum kwa mo de o eye Ghana ni bia including the young woro kra na ne dia but so can say station no na show no adwumadi a wodie no content na sesa let no be no na say na wo as am by from program ya mo hye wo ba na content na say na for develop it it is people get the content as is a one that translate no content no and be am before ni YouTube for na translate no content United Show busy ye ben ABCD and na yakọ change akọ FD FG and for whatever a change na a change from where to where. And what is even your business as to how somebody runs his show? Yet where you're celebrating Obi. Microphone where me and my see no. What does it? Yeah. How you run the show? What can say break? Yeah. We can do anything about it. You decide how your show is being run alongside your producers and your directors and managers. Now, say you'll be running the show, they won't find by. Now, Tim Hansen was and some of them kind of hano. You go for any mania come to the by the Canadian. Oh, my God, can you imagine such impunity? You're not quite Canadian. Only one in the platforms that political, non-political reps are needed. UTV Monday to Saturday. Each one bearer, you find MPP rep on the show.
NDC.
CVP, PNC sometimes. Even sometimes even not known political figures. And there was a many people before national chairman. And there was one up.
Yeah.
Let me see and crowd, but in the name of yes, and then the first time but he came there today. So programs are women young for non political figures or so. Yeah, as a person and political almost every and a person with more political show.
Yeah, sports.
We are sports. And we are and Monday to you can say to even Saturday crowd.
Yeah.
To Saturday no. NDC reps and BP reps appear. Because I come here I've appeared on almost all the days in Nairobi. Okay, so where your reps are needed, they are given that opportunity to come there. You try, you can say, "Not the things we can be an enemy do," and then you must be an enemy. But we'll be a Canadian. But you should have that spirit of tolerance and to tolerate to be better. Now, I said, "You're not becoming an enemy." How can we live as a country or as people? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, minimum that have been bombarded letter.
Why did we get here?
Wakai.
Makai pa.
Very good. So we say Moka.
Okansempa. Miracles, what kind of letter? Why did we get here? What kind of obey to me soon?
Oh, Sandman, no one can do it. And lose a mingus and renounce the financial carry.
Oh, I think you're so kind. Why did we get here?
Oh,
Charlie. And ye, what's a party necessary from say it's
what's it? Oh, sometimes I send man.
Oh, what is in the party necessary from?
What is it? But it's young.
Where we are more pot.
Many are doing our primary. And you be another more kind of but you see, and sending your kind or pick a pattern from the root.
Yes.
So, partner and you and our President Kufuba Distro. Then you said not yet. And your band is saying you wouldn't be a dear party. I need to trust me. And then to trust one of the political parts enough. Okasani ebo. Okasani attack you. To the extent that one national chairman, Mr. 17. Before Alan be free, who's Okasani one day. Now, what's anybody? I'm sure say your man from or no granting interview on the matter. I know more question. Now, oh, yeah, no. What's it? Indeed. Can none again say NBC money to trust him? Now, failure. The other one say, I say, on the party, no, at the last of an air Jaffa, he said, your dogs and a hadron. I'm saying, one is our chairman. Minimum Amazon chairman. Now you have both regional security coordinator. What's in once a more? Sanama chairman, what you? Well, boys, party member and my quarter quarter, your cobo judge, my jack Ghanaian, a gene for you, my some more than a drum Picoyan. Without impunity, no. Now we need chairman, madam, and so now we need chairman, so what's here? I'm just saying, no chairman by that time. I think that was Blay White for the Blay time.
Sure.
Yeah. But what's in once because you were here. And you trust someone young by and I flash you. And now and there, Japan agent and in flash you. If we be neighbor. But Ning and I bring Namun to one among because you can even get an attorney general who is not interested in a matter that, I mean, such a someone to say. No, I ain't only prosecute. Telling you that the state is not interested in the matter. Really? So what are you interested in? What are you interested in? The Korea Banty and you're interested in. The Korea body. The coach of Biabeno, and so Kono Biabeno, and they were not interested in jail. You are prosecuting the matter. Now, as some say, I keep on mine. A bit see down, even in cool days, Grano Obi. Meaning, say, cool days, because I'm saying that, say, Jacobo Rakota, you for P. We have never heard that. And no Ponua yet said an error off. An error off. You see, anyway, I will not respond to you. Okay, so now it's different. So that is why I'm saying that I will not respond to you. Oh, you prefer invasion? Okay, so the invasion is good according to you. So according to the Miss Miracles, the invasion is good. What does it? What's
No, I haven't spoken. No.
You are independent.
Okay. Miracles. And no, just an America say, you come, you are no wakasa.
I want lawyer to correct that falsehood.
Say, unjustified.
Oh, please. I am listen.
I take. But Mama Yansu Yanya fair. And yet, Nioma, you kind of off air. No.
I said something.
Hold on. Mama Yansu, what he wants. The point of order.
Level of say a bin sida. Say a boy record ako invade na judiciary. There was even a time my judges were killed. And I will say, oh, relax. And I will say, into my justify, I'll prefer an invasion to record the murdering of the judges.
Okay.
That one I stand by that. Okay. But it doesn't mean I'm upset.
No, and the same. They are two different. They are two different.
Which one is on the same?
Until what he said is true. Say BC.
So them can hear true. BC that
judges.
Somebody invaded the court.
A worst form happened.
Yes. The worst form is not the same as invading the court.
Absolutely.
It's not the same.
Murder is not the same.
Okay,
murder is better. Hey, invasion is better.
And what can you
That's a matter of opinion. So let me.
Thank you. That's fine.
But the two are different.
But there are two different matters. Do okay, make us
None is
but I knew say na all kind of off. But
Atik ne miracles. My microphones near like my NTA lawyer.
We shouldn't even tolerate either.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
No man can say BC that.
Lawyer, maybe I to assume
No man can say BC that.
na
Yes.
Obi okwa ni mu said na Professor Pipon Boateng he was highlighting the evils that has happened. In fact, me twins and Zia Masati now sati or ne letter mu RCC de no ne court de now sati e kan say say money see ye no and am say yen tu na papa bia na fa ho as a political party nti and na cause repetition because Obi in company for say the only be no be ejikade na sinu indicate na mon papa bia e safata can this food was here I saw men our meters they would have been careful. And I don't think they would have gone to do that. But and I'm saying even the president didn't speak. The president still controlled to that order Nana boys and they can say so if the president can even submit to them, what else? What does it? He is submitting to these hood laws. Mampanio, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, who command the entire security forces in this country. And I know COVID by we issue order kakra say 2 days was then the by one mobile impairment here. You see Okrumba. So that is the kind of power that he controls. Now on know this who don't see. I say nipa na wabon di na wo tumi so ba say den yan yesi yampe no yakobo no. Na mpa ono so ba say nipa na masesa no. That is the level that we find ourselves today. Obi, our who? And then you get a presidential staffer. A presidential staffer.
I know why no.
Yeah, so the Bibi even say. Let me get the name for you. I think I took a snapshot of his words. Something Hesse, maybe
Nana
Hesse or Jimmy.
Nana Hesse or Jimmy.
Why then?
Honestly, I can be also. If persuasion fails, our force
must be applied.
Relative to what?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Obi,
violence is not part of democracy.
Can you imagine? As someone who penny for you now, patch out one. Can you imagine such people? Your leadership will party event saying general secretary no penny for now having left their office to go and meet the victims to be more or less apologize to them. No, what to justify? What to justify? Say if persuasion fails, why is the persuasion? Persuasion in the same. So we say they do the show or they run a show to criticize your government. Now, one part of the letter, I'm say you have to give respect to the presidency. And I'm say, hey, respect to the presidency. Yami humo bonon kaimo. And before, respect to the presidency. Now, mumu adi respect to the presidency. Obi, Juma mudi di president Milso Kromuha. Obi, Juma before sin konya about boswadi di president Milso Kromu. Now the FM. Me say me can one day be papa suma ma me be me person bondi wa awa. Man panimpa you know her very well. I'm bondi abehunu. Se won ko bisa brante ba ko what chon music person man be before say. E dey am bonne pa no dey enti osa no so pa ne sa. Obi. That is the extent of the thing that you did to this man. I know can respect. The now president was calling President Mr. Professor do little. And Methodist in 243. Nibisa calling him Professor Doolittle. No, Methodist in not one. So no Methodist ni. To be a Methodist in not one. What I say? That is a level that we go to Obi. And now we send them there we boo ye. When we say you need the man was suffer. Do unto them as you want them to do unto you. Bible said they don't person you be man. Who are person there no. Woody kind of man was and I can woody kind of President Mills and the President Muhammad Nra as an never do so. Why Yan Sabino? Today you want us to be lying down for you to walk over us and sit that. What you did and the way and was about Gununa. So about Mugu and send a penny in front of Muslim Munobi. That is how you want it. It's sad. And now to me classic political party trying to make reference to respect to the presidency. Did you know that yesterday? Wow, trying to sign here. Now, were you in this country around that time? Did you hear those things? na panimu akasa na no kwa pa obi na yakọ print hu t-shirt e sheko TV so ya twena kire ni anim akomini. That was the level that we got to. Those who did that are now ministers today.
Of
course, I'm telling you. They see and see. And now when these people are calling for respect, I'm telling you, you won't get it. You won't get it. Because Sana Opadia Kawaya no enter mama baby girl as a reference. Bible said the opposite mean amount.
Do unto others.
Was Woody Kayamamians.
It's the golden rule.
Asana Miss One by amount in replication. So once a wine man and run, I may see wouldn't be net. A very simple matter. Opa Bua Nataka Buyanra. Look at President Mama. Obi. Na Sabita Fletcher, now as a wolf with Selamudia winning Pope. That was the level that it got to. As no one just a minimum and I phone was a nursing for no so maybe
the answer will go too far.
Oh, I'm being honest with you. I mean, some of the question and they make any too fast. They see and make us and see okay, they're making and see
criticism. It was there like this president is being criticized. But yes,
not because it was from.
No, I don't mean you. I don't mean you as a person. Tell me, Obi. No, some me actually 100%. I criticize Nado. But me naturally get but me live for the same area. What does it? And so about what not some in free area and until I make us on say no. I mean a year Becca, a year Becca. Because oh no for a bang and look at no. Was it my entire venison? I Pampaso. No, me are going to live near Nadia wasn't yet can be. So of course, one can say where the camera fiat in there. Why not? Yet Bagma. And was the idea you make?
Achim for the obedi president say esim when you so fast up na
Achim dey na nya fast one. Ko na go. Achim dey na ka so nya fast one. Ko na wa fu ani ko so me ba ngwa me amro bako. Me ba ngo. Lawyer no so. Obi, ye dey we ngan sem nyina, but you see in some they make any. They make any. Whatever misbehavior that came up that Saturday night, I want two things to happen. Police service, me just na ko jo the kasa na o kasa me just one and no ko bisa event say CID boss say and same be
status of other cases.
I mean, does he even have to come and follow up with you before you can even tell us what is happening? That's the challenge I have with this Ghana police people. Me am grofo, but you see, me am making me am grofo, but say suban and woman. So, nipa hwena nu yan kwala ibi ayira wata kwade hu se. Just look at the stories that came around it. The same institution. There's one to two of us. Okay. Now, as someone see, when we say a crime, information minister say for Bobby say 3 months ago.
And I will follow up 2 weeks ago.
Enough when your response say, oh, and the company we are gathering the report from the district. Imagine. To raise your say. And so over 3 months time and someone can today. We want to know where this matter will end because young. You see, you don't know you're fire. Now, and I'm saying, BSC pain, maybe a simple. I acquire no. A toss me and son, a third food yet. Obi, he is or she is a fool.
May that say. Lawyer Chum Berema and a Moten and Kano. We say, Obi, why are we not talking about the issues? What happened was wrong. Let's talk about how to prevent it happening again than to make it an MPP NDC issue. Gamel, listening from United States of Ewutu, Obrachure, and another way, Abba. This one says, Obi, did the NDC take any disciplinary action against Stan Dogbe when he allegedly assaulted and damaged the voice recorder of Yahaya Kuamwa, a reporter of GBC? Lawyer Chum should slow down. Samuel Brian Boabin Awoshi. Okay, this one says.
Me, I said they should be fine. Stan, my advocacy was that.
Atik Munyabutre. We say Obi, former President Mahama used his Facebook platform and called Nanado and his family as Achem Mafia. Is it to say that Mahama attacked Nanado because of where he comes from? Lawyers should stop the tribal politics. Kofi Tonto and on the way abrain. Eugene Eshen Elliott says, Obi, good evening. Please, is it not strange that in this era, a political party will want to suggest how to empanel guests on a show, on a radio station? NDC has cause to complain about Mr. Owusu on your show, making NPP 2 versus NDC 1. Have we written to you on Wontumi Radio Power FM, where all panelists are from one party, who has written to them complain about which guests to bring on? A+, Socrates, Diana Samoa, etc. are all of the NPP stock who appear on the show. What is their problem, pa? Eugene Eshen Elliott, NDC Constituency Secretary, Kole Clote. Obi, I unreservedly condemn the NPP youth who stormed the UTV studios, but my dissent is as follows. 1. How did an entertainment show become political and partisan? 2. How on earth can a panelist tear into pieces a letter written by a political party to management of the media house, and the host did not even reprimand him? How did A+ get that letter? 3. Bulldog called Socrates okay, and on the same show, and the host did not reprimand him. Is journalism not also about professionalism, Junior, or Tantra Hills? Nedia or de Abba Enono. We say, okay, Mama Yentie, Miracles. Now you have the opportunity.
The way an boy see
I think so.
Picture and you say
okay. Especially as a people acquire first in the past few months. Funny say from the beginning of the year. The abwa in our path to recovery. We share IMF for comment on make it say Kamia say they are no more crazy so saying keep to me a TV as on mine in terms of your recovery, you know. Yeah, you to me stabilizing them. And in kakra you be to me you with or how you me. I think it's quite encouraging. And we all counting on because ultimately you need to know you just tomatoes. It's a near year. Say and I think it's quite encouraging. And the same like penal. But the be a master my can say can before the Yankasa will bow how and bow. Then acquire how the bow first one or the society. Yeah. And a mat nipa and crunch and I say boom. I think it's quite encouraging. And we are doing some good things as a country. You need to be sorry and panem rebia and yet gloom. Any doom. There are some good things happening to us. There are some very good things happening to us. We share the rate at which our health infrastructure and kakra goes work. I think
Agenda 111.
Yeah. I think there's some hope for the future. Say if in the next 2-3 years, can you really be functional? I just should put you to because oh, on my way there. In fact, we are work within a certain municipal metro district jurisdiction. It will be access to that level of health attention and healthcare, and I think it's quite impressive. Look at what the education minister is doing when it comes to promoting science, technology. You know, and the country, and these are things that make me my dream. You know, I think they see to me, boss. Eka, young can you know? Your mom person can stem was on custom. Mom person be custom so be. You know, for mom custom.
Mom custom.
I are two women now. All the women to you know. You know, against the democracy in economic. Yeah. Say, what to me show you anymore? As a win to be the say, all can the person can. Now a part of
it is anti-democratic.
These are all anti-democratic tenets.
Now we have anti-democratic looks.
I think so. I mean, say no idea. Say Kwebia can be media. Many some of the young people that me home UTV ni biakasa. And for Munkomodi Muni Bibiano, I am very confident say if they had an opportunity, they would have handled sentiments, views differently. Adebakwa mempe e kwanya lawyer Chum and I think for some handle issue. Of course, at home life. Obi see am yehu dia
and talk your life so
emrantie na omutu sa na mo no Itim ye ho hwe ya. Mitumi yi me ho. Mitumi nka so mo nka ne sa. Na mum dia mesro mo ne say sensem ne ba sei na ye ka ne sei na. Eya entumi maye nya ensem no entu ase enwie prekope. Enti no be hwe no na kwa na ase aye den. Ase aba because the ba ye no na ka yesi ye pe asem no ne roots.
Yeah.
Now you do two as a precono, the China, the IA to say wishy politics and a PPR. That's one an MPP problem. And that's why I like Ojo Pokroma's position on the matter. And I want to applaud him as an information minister. Come fast or they handle issues no from Saturday, on me director of communication, Richard, or quite an adjuna unyane, a cost to the whole try to make sure say overcome tempest. Obi. It is an enemy that we all have to fight. Because democracy can be. And you'll be an at CS yet to send ebia mene oni e wosi you no yete ase me to wey na bia me catch I am an advocate for brute conversation in a democracy ka wadwen se na obese o kan bia na mo ka wi ma me so me kwan o me ka me de that is me my position but be obi na te ase sa we are still at the teething level baby steps in building a multi-party free speech democracy. You better make it long uninterrupted progress. But once in a while, we will expect some of these things. When it comes, we must address it and deal with it and make sure say other people are muti and say, oh, and yes, sir, at them the DNA condemnation and condemn. Anka asem year a jina suti am rent ye say, and come we say ya, and can be obiso the better in trim. Now that should be also finding if he finds himself in such a situation now. Also musa kwana ide afa so ba ye kan nyina yobi we have not spoken about that obian to ne bo asenka say e de enkoa na betumi am so because me can say imagine say mesi fam no be ehia me osemra ko sasam on kan na yem de intimbebo no it doesn't happen that way it shouldn't happen normally crowd me say wi e bia etiefo nim ba ye si fam nipa mo be hia yen e me ye bon komo sere etumi argument na wa bon tri kwa etumi champo sen the was studio no. For me, that's democracy. And that is how me feel say you don't communicate. Now you're an issue because Obi say I can say no and the MPP no Obi this is not an MPP problem. We and yeah MPP problem. It is a Ghana problem. The level of intolerance are ever, especially with the influence of social media, information flow and tentem no be dangerous. It will satisfy any MPP problem that you are missing the point. Because the Benny has not elections. Will be answering at the end of the about 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, that was in June.
June or May, oh baby. I can't
remember. No, it's June.
Yeah.
Ascend
North.
Yeah, I think so.
June.
Okay. That was June, right?
Sure.
Headline: NBC's attack on Peace FM reporter in Ascend North puts journalists everywhere at greater risk. 27 June 2023. The disturbing news of an NDC attack on yet another journalist assassin Breko on Monday afternoon reached me not long ago. This piece from online. It was supposed to be a media briefing meant to update the constituent of Ascend North on the party's campaign. Instead, NDC's hoodlums. It's a young people who hoodlums. So you see where my argument is going. Piece FM online. That's the guy. So I'll say to you. Instead, NDC hoodlums drove off the rails, turning the briefing into perhaps the most surreal news conference ever seen. Under the watchful eyes of party leaders, including John Mahama, His Excellency, Sami Jemfi, and Esiedu Ketia, NDC hoodlums at press conference pounced on a harmless Peace FM reporter, Odum Prince Linford, and made nonsense of our press freedom indicator. This is this year. So when the press, media index no bar, and your MPP boys, and this was a June report. You remember the Dagbon issue? Look at Dagbon issue, no?
Yeah, Dagbon.
I don't know if you remember that Dagbon, that Dagbon FM guy, where the NDC's communication, former deputy communication officer went to the studio and beat up the presenter.
I think he was convicted and fined.
Yes, that was also this year. That was also this year, right? So you see, it is a Ghana problem. It is a problem that we must address and deal with. We can't make it an MPP problem. We an MPP problem. You are preparing the ground for yet another incident, which is dangerous. especially for you better radio so Kasanobi. Many 1 year we speak on mass platforms. No? It puts all of us at risk. Because Minjin say NDC Sami Jemfini is necessarily your mama ne said in Ketia. And that's some guy now Okobo Peace FM reporter was in Brekuno. I doubt if they sent him. Minjin is NDC party no and the Soma communications officer now or what Dagbon FM no. I doubt if the NDC sent him. So say assembly banner can say we should condemn. We should express our disappointment. You can call all manner of names, but we are making sure say we go to the root of the matter. Will be dangerous. And I've spoken with some of them, and I can tell you say maybe some say enti pa. Almost say
and call.
Yes. Almost say letter na panelists back at the team war and me put them in share. Until later I'm showing the video and I watched it, and to be very sincere with you, say we MPP ni na say we share some video na say when your emotional intelligence are you being infuriated obubefu pa the manner obi show him say obi etete wade mu a yeso nyina no say watete mu and no even more disrespectful and insulting and provocative crowd see me bia kawadwen disagree with the content can the person okay be alpha content no but you have no right to tear it, at least not in public. But me atete much dem. But say what TV so pa an act of provocation. It's an act of provocation. And the best thing would have been say right there on the set no. Ebia anka the host or something would have drawn it out because you see kasa you need to make mistake. Utubi kwa ebi wo ha in the heat of it you can say something or act be now we know. And I'm sure say I come draw the attention. Anka the panelists would have says oh my year and I'm a say and baby.
But I think the host ought to have called his attention.
Exactly. In case what you're not doing, Obi, we can't talk about the issues without dealing with some of these things and ignoring them and pretending as if they don't exist. They have no right to go to the studio at that time they went to. Only right to be but hoodlums.
What are they?
Hoodlums. Because you see, Obi, hoodlums because they went to the studio to go and address. No, more Bobby. Hoodlum,
but hoodlum.
Obi, these are young MPP people who had legitimate concerns. Now, I'm addressing, but I'm addressing wrongly.
Oh, young legitimate.
Obi, for example, Tama, or the person of Abuono. We don't but when they stop I'm a police report. I am saying come on.
Now Obi
in court are they a bench men tolerating say council regional and council Obi say me see council no
I'm saying say to disrupt this program. You call him gentle young patriot.
The fact of the matter is what we will present without the sentiment.
Okay.
I am saying that these guys are rather more. We don't crash a political suit in here. So I just say, glass. People have even asked a very specific question. Say, but the second there has not been any report of any vandalism. There has not been any report of anybody touching anybody. But it was wrong. Because on to me, sorry, keke. Now we could be premise or be property uninvited. Now we can say, make a chairman drink. Now they come to my background and almost say, yes, you have a maya, can you say,
almost I demanded 3 slot too.
Someone more 3. It is a matter of views balance. Yes, but that notwithstanding, Obi, it doesn't mean that same way are banty. You remember now you have misrepresent issues. No, writing letters to media houses is not new by political parties. That has always been the case. It has always multimedia. You have received several letters from both NDC and MPP,
but not commanding them.
No. It happens all the time. Peace FM
to command them.
Listen, the reason why NDC boycotted Peace FM in their statement, they were categorical. They had a problem with the paneling.
But that you see, that reinforces the point.
Who interrogating me? Who
He's coming from the point that people have criticized even the move to write the letter to the
yes. Everybody has
the content, not the action.
The content, and that's what I'm telling you. That there are precedents. It's not new. Why? Democracy. You know the problem I have with a lot of people, and I want me no more problem. If you don't criticize government, then you are sensible. If you criticize government, then you are sensible. And that anybody that doesn't criticize government is dumb.
Oh.
No, but why? It's there. There are people who feel that defend Abain into the Munimyasa. Who said so? No. When they say, no, because we criticize Abain to know Munimyasa. No, I don't just Munimyasa say me. Exactly.
That's also anti-democratic.
It's anti-democratic. It is also.
If you have the right to criticize, someone has the right to defend.
You have the right. You have the right to host your show, right to determine paneling, but I have a right to also tell you say Minyanisi and Kampe. You have the right not to listen.
Sure.
That is democracy. So don't come and criticize and tear my.
No, that as for that.
You understand what I'm saying? And don't come and tell me say I couldn't help. You don't determine what I put, a content I put in my letter. That's all right.
No,
I also reserve that right.
Bars you.
It doesn't. No, the constitution allows me to express my view,
but not. And also
from determining editorial decisions.
Me expressing my view.
One after the other.
Expressing my view is not determination. I haven't determined yet. Oh, I have not determined yet.
Okay, in the letter, no, do you think the content was just the expression of a view?
Yes. No.
It was more like a direction to the
direction. How can any third party give you direction?
But
I think so. You see,
no.
Oh, now can I say? I'm not taking a decision.
It's okay. Don't let us do this back and forth.
Who distorted me? Who to us? Okay. Inti. This Sanyama we are. A friend is saying, "Akosu if we deal with it in the manner in which on person did now, Obi, a BBC in about another 2 or 3 months by another political party. Because we never deal with the substance. We don't talk about it. We only take political advantage of it and then we talk, then that's it. You don't come and criticize the letter today because it comes from the MPP. The NDC wrote a letter. Specifically, the reason for this boycott has to do with the unreasonable decision of the producers. This is the NDC letter.
I condemn that action.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
The NDC letter, they wrote to Peace FM. Specifically, the reason for this boycott has to do with the unreasonable decision of the producers and the host of the program to permanently reserve one of the 2 slots the party has traditionally had on Wednesdays on the show to Mr. Lete Jacobs. Obi, who are you to come and determine which permanent slot I give to somebody or not? Great. So you see,
based on the same principle.
So you see, that is why I'm saying that we should not do this discussion the same way lawyer Chumni and this person we are not. Yeah. The next time it will not be MPP, it will be NDC because there are precedents. Letters have been written by the NDC directing hosts and producers about how they should empanel their shows. Letters are there. In fact, Obekaya, after the Peace FM wrote a letter to NDC to go and request, NDC wrote another letter. That letter is also there. FM. It is here, giving conditions under which they will appear on the show. There is nothing wrong with it. NDC have a right to write letters and express their views. And even they want to direct you. You also have the right to listen to their direction or not. That is the sort of democracy we must have. The only thing we cannot have in all of this is that you cannot come to my premise uninvited. But the young guys also have a right to also express their displeasure about how they feel a conversation is one-sided if you claim then XYZ. When we say people radio good. When we say people baby. But the way I position we a product. Yeah, top product. No? It is our culture is our representative balance view. Now if you say you are not living up to that product, we also have the right to also question it. But the mode they did it is condemnable. But I'm concerned it was legitimate. because they cannot be sitting on live TV, watching TV midnight, and watch you tear up their political parties later. Then, notwithstanding, the young people who did that could have channeled their concerns through the appropriate quarters for it to be dealt with. But why are we not talking about that? Why are we not having that conversation? Why are we pretending as if that conversation doesn't exist? And if we continue pretending that way, another one will happen. This time not by MPP, but by NDC, because this year NDC for DMU NDC. May and June, that bondi and Omukobo, NDC communication officer no kobo that bon presenter no May. June there, not national chairman of the NDC, communication officer of the NDC, and the flabber and our press, friend is saying briefing nasi, and a piece FM, friend is saying Abrantiano, NDC for no ebono this year. So we need to be very, 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 very circumspect about the conversation. And you be taking political advantage of. And they be who taking political advantage of what you are saying is that because to be honest, the way we are discussing this one, that was not how the Dagba one was discussed before. And that's not how the Asimbreku one was discussed. It wasn't a year. It is rather embodying the gentleman who did. The NDC guy went to be the Dagbon guy, and then the NDC guy who want to beat the Peace FM guy Asimbreku. It's probably embodying them because the can see.
The guy ended up in court.
Which one?
The Dagbon guy.
No, he's been convicted and
yes.
sentenced to a fine.
Yes.
Asimbreku, yes, maybe.
So I am begging everybody making commentary on this matter. Say, all of us are at risk. All of us. If we have citizens who still do not understand that no matter what, West don't kill, West are not gun, West are not machetes, you know. If we have citizens who still don't accept that there, then we are all at danger. Because the minute we make catch roll. Okay, last time, Minister Mjifu, I make catch roll. Say, oh, okay, I make come with you. Into me, I say, over Monday. Now come as a man. Let me tell you if you are making us out. Minister next week Monday, Miss Mayday. I believe in that. Yes, our conversation as forceful as possible, but never resort to stampede others. One of the things I have noticed that make a hammer that posture say, if you are not a negative critique of government, now the only answer. Now, almost criticize your bank on any answer. No, 95% the interest on go. 95% no. Who criticize it? Who criticize Obi? Who criticize Jawadi? Loyalty way. Ye uni-free NDC mu. Near see young cancer na abekan different. And not just a lawyer criticize a buyer not so many as you. And also chances a so may clarify. The BI says we don't defend, we clarify. My job is to clarify and sensitize and advocate. Advocacy and defense.
No, but defense even if it's defense, and you're criminal.
No, but they always make you. They always make you sound.
He doesn't defend.
They make you sound. They make you sound. Say, "Omoka, final." Hey, yeah, demonstration will be bro. Hey, to don't use my 2016 year, cast my no chum baby.
Lawyer chum.
Oh baby, Anna. Come on, not 2016. Yeah. A friend said demonstrations on my oh baby. It was a bit 2018 also who call they are.
I didn't know Bimra.
Also, okay. Oh, the party be brother over to social media, and those who are not speaking up, right? Yeah, Casa 2016, 2015, Okobi. It was so. I'm not them. I'm not them. We do so now. So quick. We say, what the Obi a one baby biano. Onu ni nyansa. Unko na woko. It is 1:37. So I just say.
And so omufrebia meko.
Obeko, of course.
So Obi say the
consistency in your
exactly.
case.
Because the party doesn't change.
Your position still.
No.
You see, the only part you're freelance.
And I didn't join the demonstrations.
Obi. PNC Ankasano, party PNC Ankasano. When you are allies in the
former national chairman, former Kako demonstration.
Now say NDC for Baba demonstration, the PNC logo at Tuomo.
No, you see, when you
why do they pick you usually you're not part?
No, when you are joining, you don't join as the corporate MPP. Party, yeah. I mean PNC. You join as an individual who belongs to that party.
Yeah. And they use the logo of the corporate. They use the logo of the corporate.
Yeah, let my
I think later it was withdrawn.
Anyway, Obi.
No, but let let my vote can you join? Send as PNC.
Anyway, Obi,
was it the corporation called PNC?
That notwithstanding, media, I think that this matter is a very unfortunate matter.
Okay.
The manner in which the young people express your legitimate concerns is wrong. The advice to all young people who are politically active and they say issues be say bar penny for nkasa.
Yes.
So I just say baby be simple penny for your day and kasa. The mum Mranten concerns no one day a legitimate. Untumin chichere and formal party letter or matro. Now want to team our live TV. A provocative action. A very, very, very provocative action. And come back to my demo. May Obi to say A+. To be very honest with you, I'm one person that has no qualms with the way he's expressing his views. Obi me say Kasa enkum nipa wo. Kasa. Hey, should you see what Israel ne Palestine? And Kasa ke no mo kan kompe wo. Eti me o Kasa said dem yem asem. I'm telling you me Obi me to one. O Kasa said dem yem asem. I will let you finish.
Because you should be me.
I will say mine. Me go me to here. I bet you ask him. Why you to now start me now? You call him. Don't be me to me tweet to me say come as some say na me send me link me say hey. Me need another platform. Me come as some. So we should continue to talk. Let's allow A+, let's allow Socrates, let's allow Bulldog, whoever wants to speak, let's allow them to speak.
As an Indian bulldog, a bull god.
Bull god. Obia or person Kasibi Obi. Yaman and Kasa and son of Bissau can be a Yaman and Kan. I didn't know no Obi. Last year we are. And yet TV soon radio so Kasa don't connect to about. Omon Betuabano, Omni person Motuabano. Nemo the yes is the baby Mukeke. Nebi Antia Sebi or Muni and my day. No Matia say, but I'm telling you, say, Obi Ghana, I can tell you, Nipa could be a new political party lose one I win election. Obi or in the Sabbath in Waka say me na man this bar power na man people bar or your big keke.
Maybe we are not
or your big keke Obi. MPP ni this no. Your bare minimum numbers we Obi me na na dem by MPP mu. And your big kasa dem be mu. Me ma nyina eno no benyi hu. This is the near when you am na near fee as we taking a decision be. But the first vote today. The first vote 18 day. Or remember MPP as a neni so betena I will take this decision. Why they obey take. Say na chum to way ne ba.
On to me MPP.
Or just say possible. Or just say when you baby. This is when you
not there that.
You can't force him.
No, but what you saying gives us that bare minimum numbers.
Yeah.
So let's allow people to talk. But everybody should follow Kojo upon Krome's cue. And I think it's very important. Anybody that tries to criticize Kojo is being unfair to him. Because at the end of the day, one of our phone, after police call her, on the police feeding come on the YouTube feeding come on Makasa, the Omeka in Omaka. That is the way to go. And then MPP feeding for the YouTube for Kotanase, Omakasa, that is the way to go. Who said some your political party? I'm president, they be all the matter, man. You need rights, and so make I say, Jatem, I don't mean to me, Gaza. Met me a catch as to whether you will take it or not. That's also your right. But I also have the right to also take action. But what to me can say, I cannot determine your editorial policy. I can write to you. Maybe you haven't noticed. I can draw your attention.
But the letter
so
was direct them.
Oh, you can. The fact that I've done
reforms.
That is my right. Yeah, that is my right.
The constitution.
Oh, that is my right.
That
is my right.
You don't have it.
Oh, I have it. I have it. Obi, and to solve Befano, I haven't exercised the right in full.
You don't have it.
Oh, I have it.
Where do you derive
it? I have it.
Okay.
I have it.
In the way, sir, Obi, the attack on UTV is an invasion of the independence of the media and a violation of rights to free expression guaranteed by Article 21(1) of the Constitution, which provides, quote, a person shall have the freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media, unquote. The same Constitution as well as the Police Act places an enforceable obligation on the Ghana Police Service to put the facts before the law as immediately as possible. Until that is done, I would not be shocked when the next point to invade becomes the Jubilee House. J.M. Uti Esirifi ewo second day takrade and all the way a brain Esirifi Yadasi.
Yes. The only difference between their Emrant and Yeye and then call non compensation call Jubilee House. The only difference I say we more police notification say person you call express your views, they go protest. Omo intention, you know, say no more protest. But of course, it was a little misguided and mistimed. The only difference, I don't know. Otherwise, they have the right to also go and stand in front of Asempa and show placards. And they have the right. They can come and stand and also protest. Because Asempa, you are a commercial entity, a motor product. So they have the right to also show placards in front of UTV and say, do that just as they occupy their day for the year. Yeah. So but the said the only difference between Omo and Omo street in the is that Omo into me and you see the right lay down procedures to be able to do what they wanted. I am going to guide them to make sure that if they have displeasure in a democratic dispensation, because I think that
is it not something? And I asked the General Secretary and even youth organizer this question, sir. And you are one of the leading lights in more party youth, orientation, especially or more leaders of the party, because to be youth organizer of a party like the NPP, the least anybody can expect from you discipline, some level of discretion in exercising your judgment. I mean, to even decide, team cross say, guys, Monsore me TV station on it's for me. It's for me.
Sometimes there are, in an organization like the NPP where we have close to about 7 million people casting their vote for us, and NDC where they have close to 7 million people the excesses.
No, but this is a youth organizer of a region. How many regional youth organizers are more? 16.
Even there are national officers in some political parties who sometimes show some of these excesses. It's an unfortunate situation. To be very honest with you, it's a very unfortunate situation. But that is why when someone care about orientation, in some way make us say we shouldn't handle the way and manner. Also, because 5 examples from this year, and this for example this year. Say, we take advantage of such situations and rather orient.
Yeah.
That's what we are supposed to do. And rather orient. So whilst the law is dealing with Obia, whoever has fallen culpable at this time, your responsibility and say, the opportunity in the sensitization. Say, what's the here make us say? They can also go and show placards.
Yeah.
So what I say? For some of the youth don't even know they can do that. But now that they know, they can say, okay, how do we explore that option? Well, maybe Saturday now, be a program, no cost, no. Maybe almost we are nipa 3 or 4 crowd, most placards to also express your displeasure about 1 or 2 things that you think, say, the media house is doing. And that is how I want us to position this conversation. Well. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with a political party writing a letter to a media house. There is nothing wrong with a political party expressing displeasure about how a media house is catch and say XYZ any problem. But just as NDC raised concerns about paneling of Kokoko, every other political party can also raise concerns about paneling of every show. But you also have the right to tell us, say, send your person any piano, any no. But it doesn't also stop us from also raising concerns about that. But Obi, Mr. Rantiano, no young person should ever attack any Ghanaian for expressing their views. A sacred Obiaye day and Kaya dream. Let me say, maybe radio na make asana answer me. Me to me the cut Facebook. But twas Obi a home in
anyways, Auntie Ati Mami, where's Obi? Please tell Dennis that we have a group. Dennis Tio, that we have a group in my hometown, Boase, and we are always solidly behind him. The NPP party as well as Dr. Baumia. He should keep the good works he's doing. Kindly give him my number. Where DSP Ofori retired. And the police near were retired. And no issue, mate. We say, Obi, please condemn what happened on UTV and don't try to justify this unfortunate incident. The MPP guys had no justification to be provoked because A+ tore their letter. Even at the US Congress, Speaker Nancy Pelosi tore President Trump's speech and nobody beat her up. Tearing up the letter was a way of demonstrating that a party in government has no right to determine how a media house operates. At best, the NPP should have sent a rejoinder. This act of impunity must stop. Nana Kwame Ofusua Frane Ewo Oyibi. Nana, I don't know if you just tuned into the show, but we've already condemned the Ekosiisen data, and don't get it twisted, me pacho. Dear Obi, I strongly condemn the event that took place at UTV studio and believe the law should take its course. However, A+'s behavior in tearing up the letter from the NPP on live TV is also unacceptable, and he should be held accountable for his actions. No one is above the laws of Ghana. Kweku Dakon or Ablekuma North constituency. Obi, please, the people we claim to be criticizing the government are all NPP. So tell Miracle and his people to do a self-introspection. I am Osman. Osman, thank you. Obi, regrettably, the act was barbaric and it must be condemned unconditionally. But be that as it may, how did the thugs get easy access to the studio? Can anybody just walk to a studio without any restrictive means? I personally suspect that there could be accomplices from within. The reason the police must interrogate the issues further to ascertain the evidence and the fact in issue. Kwejo Jemfi Bonsu Jr. Ewotano North. Obi, I unreservedly... Okay, I think I've dealt with this one. Junior or Tantra Hills, thank you. Hi, Obi, good evening. Once again, and I'm doing the listening live from the city of Ghent in Belgium. In as much as we all condemn the invasion of some NPP youth at the UTV studios with their protest, we should also talk about how some media outlets are packed with panelists and the so-called entertainment pundits whose attitudes portray that of a vendetta against the certain government instead of discussing issues bothering their profession. It was on this same show where a pundit threatened a certain president and got himself facing the law. Freedom of speech in our political dispensation and the political fairness in the media space must be protected and corrected. Okay. Nana Ajare Kodie or Belgium. Yeah, that's it. Your message is quite lengthy, but thank you nonetheless. Let me see. Obi, why are we not talking about the issues? What happened was wrong. Okay, Obrach ready, my kind that made us. Vincent say, Obi,